Hello again. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me now. Oh gosh. Well, I did a lot of talking. Apparently no one heard that. It happens. That's like a thing. It happens in life, and we're gonna roll with it. I'm hoping now though that everyone can hear me, because that would be ideal given the content that I'm doing. But if you can't, please make that clear to me as soon as possible. I think people can hear me now, but actually, it's funny because I was talking, even though you can hear me, before, about my son, and I think he messed with my mic before, so I think that's where we're at with it now. But let's see, do I have comments telling me that I am heard? We'll see. But let me put up the banner so you can see the book that we're talking about, and then let me show you. This is a book we're talking about after. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna do this again. Fun times indeed. Fun times indeed. All right, so let's go into the presentation. Okay, and take it from there. And if there are issues, I will try to look out for comments again so that we can get the show on the road. Hello, happy August again. My name is Natasha Nurse, and I'm excited to be on here and actually have you here and join a conversation around After. Such a dynamic book for sure. As usual, I like to do all book clubs first with a quote. So there is no friend as loyal as a book. Ernest Hemingway. Books, content, film, documentaries, everything in between, podcasts. These are things that live with you forever. People disappoint you, but what stays with you is the things that never leave. And once you read a book, once you open up your imagination, these are things that transform your life forever. And there's no going back from that. So, yay. Thank you, Ivy. It's working now, y'all. All right, good stuff. So I appreciate that. For today, again, what will we be doing? Answering questions around love from a meet and greet perspective. So I encourage you, if you're here, you're watching live, or if you watch this in the replay, please put the answers to the questions there. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. We'll do a quick book summary, then get into the book club discussion questions. So usually I do like book club, like moments or like things in the chapters that I think are like, I got to come on here and read and discuss it. But because this is a fictional romantic story, it's a little bit different. We have to cover it. So let's answer some questions together and then talk about what we're doing in September. All right. What is your favorite love song and why does it hold significance for you? I will, for the rest of my life, always miss and always love and always listen to the music of Whitney Houston. She was everything and will continue to be everything. And I Will Always Love You. I know some people prefer the Dolly Parton version. I prefer the Whitney Houston version. And it is a song that demonstrates the idea that love doesn't always have a happy ending. Love doesn't mean you have to be with the person. Love means wanting the best for another person, whether you're with them or not. And then it also means that you can live a life of love, and it should impact you. It should change your life. And sometimes that's a sad story. If you love someone, you can't be with them, but it's also just like, you can lean more into the idea that like, thank God I met this person. Thank God I did love this person, or I am in love with this person. Anything in between that. So that is my song of choice. Do you believe in soulmates? Why or why not? So this is interesting. I would say if you were to ask me this question at 18 years old, I'd have been like, yes, there's only one soul for you. Now at 36, going on 37 in next month, I would say I'm not quite sure. Ask me in 10 more years. I think for me, so do I believe that your soul is supposed to interact with different other souls? Yes, I do believe that. Now, what if that comes to you in the form of a friend? What if that comes to you in the form of a coworker? What if that comes to you in the form of a relative? What if that like I think for me, I'm moving away from the term soulmate and thinking through soul connection. And I think that there are people in this life that you're supposed to have a soul connection with, and whether that manifests romantically or not, I think is depending upon what those souls want. Maybe in a lifetime you were romantic, maybe in this lifetime you're not, right? Like, so that's where I'm struggling with the term soulmate, because the idea of anchoring this like one epic love story around you and one other person, that to me, that seems challenging. It seems too limiting. I think that there are 7+ billion people in the world, and to say that there's only one love that one is supposed to have, I think that you can have a soul friend. You can have soul connection. So that's where I'm going to live with that. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it though, because again, like I said, I'm curious to ask myself this question in 10 years, and I'm also curious to hear what you think about it now. So have at it. If you could describe love in one word, what word would you choose and why? Safety would be my word of choice, and emotional safety specifically. Growing up, I struggled with being able to have spaces that allowed for emotional vulnerability and emotional safety with the people that I grew up with, as well as the people I interacted with in my life. And I'm so grateful now to say that there are people in my life who I have emotional safety and security with. And that is why I love them. That is why I feel epic connection to them. And when you don't have that, and when you do have that, like that to me is just like, it's dramatically enhanced my life. And reduction of feeling lonely, reduction of feeling like I'm like, why am I here? What is the purpose? Like all of those things to me surround and circulate around like, do I have a space and a place to be able to break down, to also to share my dreams, to be able to share my fears, and to have someone accept me for who I am, and to be able to champion me in the moments I need champion, and to be able to coddle in the moments I need coddling, and then to also be able to have just connection and vibes with like that those are the anchors for love for me. What is the most romantic gesture you've ever done or received? This one's hard because I would say that I am like goofy in love. For me, love is more about like a deep friendship connection that then has romantic overtones to it. But for me, I can't be in love, or I can't have a deep romance with you unless I have a deep friendship with you. Like for me, friendship, because I didn't have a lot of that growing up, I was deeply lonely and deeply by myself. And a part of that is super empowering and super fantastic. Like I love the freedom of being able to just organize my day as I see fit and all of that stuff. But then you miss out on connection with others. And so then you grow up. For me, I grew up feeling very disconnected from people, not knowing how to act, not knowing what to say, and only, just feeling more awkward than not. And so being able to have that, like, be that narrative turn and change as I got older has been really, really cool, really empowering. But again, I don't know if there's like one gesture, maybe other than like the proposal moment. I think that's pretty cool when someone does that. So thank you, Khalil, for that beautiful stuff. And we had excellent chocolate covered fruit, specifically white chocolate covered pineapples. Oh, what are you like? Amazing. The ring was amazing too. But like, the white chocolate covered pineapples. Wait a minute. Wait 1 minute. Delicious. Delicious. Thank you, Khalil. Edibles, fruit, baskets are everything. Thank you. What is your favorite love story, fictional or real, and why does it resonate with you? So I want to say that I really appreciate people who can spend, and it doesn't have to, I know everyone anchors epic love stories around like a lifetime of love with someone. It depends. I feel like, who are we to judge? Sometimes you can have an epic love story for 10 years, and that's what that love story was meant to give and deliver. Some people, it's a lifetime of love. I think it's just going to depend on those souls and what they needed in this lifetime. But ultimately, I really admire people who do have long-standing love stories, because as a person in my own love story, right, going on 19 years, it's a lot. It takes a lot to be with someone for a day, much less a year, much less 20 years, right? Like wait a minute, okay? So it's a lot. But I really admire real people who can do that. But then when you go into the fictional space, I really also love, oh gosh, I love Titanic. I love Jack finding Rose and helping Rose to discover that a life of privilege doesn't guarantee a life of love. And if you could choose between the two, if you had to choose between the two, a life of love is always going to fuel you more than a life of privilege, because being connected with someone, knowing that you can wake up and go to bed each and every day and have someone have you, like, really I got you type of vibes, like that, you can't put a price tag on that, right? So that's really cool. I love Twilight. You can judge me as much as you want. I could care less. Will be forever a fan of the Twilight series, a fan of Divergent, a fan of Hunger Games. Ultimate, like, all-time favorite love story. That's a really hard one. There's so many good love films and shows that I've watched over the years. But I loved Hunger Games. I have a Hunger Games tattoo on my body. The show meant that much. The film series meant that much to me that, yeah, I like tattooed my body. So may the odds ever always be in your favor type of situation. I love the connection between Katniss and Peeta. I love that it was a situational love story. Like, for them to survive, they had to fall in love. And then from that actually developed true friendship. And then from that developed real connection. And this idea that, like, he could accept her toughness and she could accept his softness, and that their favorite colors also resemble me and Khalil's favorite color. Her favorite color was green. His was orange. Same with us, green, orange for him. I loved the Hunger Game writing. I loved the storyline. I love that. So I would say that so far in my life to date. I don't know how I would answer that 20 years from now, but to date. One could also say, what about your Elm love story? We'll see. Where I'm just, like I said, I'm really goofy in love. I feel like real love is a little bit different than like fictional or romantic book type of love. What is the most important quality you look for in a romantic partner? Truth and honesty. Khalil and I grounded our relationship on honesty with each other, being that lies and fakeness growing up was emotionally challenging and hard to deal with. And so we didn't want that. If you, again, you don't have to be in love. You don't have to be with anybody. So if you choose to be with somebody, you better choose something that is making your life better. And we both decided that honesty is what would make our lives better, because the world will lie to you every single day. You cannot live in your home and have someone lying to you. It doesn't work. For us, it just doesn't work. So the idea that we could, like, be honest, even if it hurts, and honesty does hurt. The truth is painful and frustrating. And if you can get through it, and you can have, again, a person who's like, nope, I will tell you the honest truth, even if it hurts your feelings, I'll take it. I'll take it over blissful lies and blissful misunderstanding. Book summary again. Thank you for those who hung in and watched me when I was muted, and then have come and watched me now that you can hear me. I appreciate y'all. So, girl meets boy, good girl, very inexperienced in many, many ways, and bad boy, who's very experienced in all the good ways. They come together, and I don't want to give away like the big plot twist that you're supposed to discover at the end. I want to save that and reserve that for you, so that if you have not read the book or haven't seen the movie series, then you can be like, right? Like, I don't want to take that away from you. Spoiler alerts, right? So we'll just say that there's deception. There's just like, oh, is this really love? ... right? Like, so you have to read the book, go to dressroommate.com. I'll take you to Amazon, get the book to understand what are the kind of the plot twists around their love story that is, wow. But he opens up a world for her in a way that she didn't even understood existed. And she provides the emotional safety and security and love that he needed, because he experienced some trauma growing up that really haunts him every single night. He can't even really sleep without having his Tessa with him. So they need each other for different reasons, but it works. And it also doesn't work. And that takes us to kind of, let's talk through some questions. Why would she fall in love with a bad boy? Why would he fall in love with a good girl? In life, you want to be excited. You want to have beautiful moments and delicious moments and challenging moments, right? Like, human beings are agents of chaos. We live in a world, the world exists because of chaos, ordered chaos, but nonetheless it's chaos. And we as human beings cannot forget that we are agents of chaos. So think about what that means for your love story. Is love going to be calm and peaceful every single day? Most people don't want that, sadly. Most people want some fire, some passion, some fighting, some right? Like, whatever. Fill in the blank. I'm tired. So for me, my love is more like, yeah, let's just like have a cup of tea and take a nap type of situation. But a lot of people want a lot of different things. Y'all figure out what you want. But she was looking for some true excitement that only Hardin could deliver. And he, I believe, was tired of just being surface level. He had never said, I love you, not even to his own parents, before he had met Tessa and said that to her. And I thought that, wow, like, I would die if my son never said, I love you, first and foremost. What? And then, should you anchor your safety in another person? No, because that person can always die. That person can always leave you. That's too dangerous. You don't want to put yourself in that situation. But can love be a blanket for you? Can love envelop you with a form of calmness that maybe the world doesn't deliver? I think so. But again, we can't anchor our own sanity and our own peace within someone else. That's too dangerous of a proposition. But can you welcome peace through love? Yes. I think there's a difference. I think you have to think through that, and you have to make sure you're really thoughtful around how you approach that. But that's, I think, what they both deliver to each other. What did he see in her? A level of innocence and a level of molding. I think when you have intimate moments with someone and you have the ability to kind of craft your relationship, your romantic relationship, if you get my drift, I think that that's a very empowering situation for a person or a man. And I think that he enjoyed that very much, because she was not experienced at all. And he had lived his life 1,000 times. So he had a lot to teach her. And she was a very studious pupil. And it was, I hadn't read erotic romantic fiction in a long time. And so that was a very fun, pleasant surprise and a very enjoyable part of this book that you will, I would say one of the most memorable parts is the author Anna Todd writes the book from Tessa's perspective and Hardin's perspective. So you see each chapter, and it's a very long book for sure. Probably too long. I would have anchored this maybe at around 300 pages, not 600 pages. But I like the, how does Tessa feel and see something versus how does Hardin see and feel something? Because men and women come from different planets. We always have been, we always will. And so how we experience things, the same event, we experience it very differently. And I loved seeing that written out that way. I thought the author Anna Todd did a great job of that, but also their personalities show through in the writing. That's really hard, right? If you think about writing a book, like, how do you write under one personality and write under another personality? I think the author did a great job of that. So that was probably one of the most memorable things. But then also those scenes, y'all. I was drinking water left and right. You will read this book with a jug of water next to you. Read this book and drink your water. Was their love toxic? Yes. But are there toxic parts of love? Yes. Within our own parent-child relationships, much less our romantic relationships, right? Like, love isn't just rainbow and lollipops and sunshine combined. It is beautiful and delicious and moving and sad and tragic and frustrating and upsetting and confusing. Love is a spectrum, right? So when we read love stories, like I had people on social media come for me around, why are you like promoting this content? Their love was toxic. And love can be toxic, and we can't shy away from that, and we have to read it and confront it. Do I think young girls should read the After series and expect their love to be that way and look for a Hardin in real life? Absolutely not. That would be tragic. Truly tragic. But can you read about it? Can you try to contextualize and understand that love is a spectrum? Yeah. And I think this is a really good way of doing that. And I think that people need to understand that it's not just as beautiful as it can be, but that it gets ugly. Love can be quite ugly. And you should read and experience it for what it is, and then make that decision. You are in charge of deciding what you tolerate, what you don't tolerate. So it's up to you where you want to sit with that. The books are, I've read book number 1. I'm on book number 2. It's a 5-book series. After reading book 1, you absolutely will go and buy the rest of them. Yes, you absolutely will. How does it compare to the films? It's incomparable. I definitely was told on social media as well that like the books are better. The books are better, but the actors that were casted for this are so on point. The actor that plays Hardin is so handsome and so conflicted, just like the character. And the female actress that plays Tessa is so innocent looking and so kind of dove in the forest. And yes, she is that. They are that, like, great casting. But the scenes are not the same that you will read. Unless short of them going and doing things like that, you can't convey that in film. I think there's like things that just fall to the floor there. So you will want to read the book so that you get the full picture of what they experienced in all portions of love. But ultimately I was moved. I was challenged by some of the, like, again, because I didn't feel like I was ready. I wasn't ready for those scenes. I wasn't ready for some of the conflict. Like, it was shocking in the best of ways and the most meaningful of ways. So definitely take it in, enjoy it. And I think that answers all the questions. So we made it through again. So funny. Oh gosh. Okay. So September, first and foremost, next month is my birthday month. So y'all better show up. I better have this not unmuted, right? Like we'll both get it together. And we're going to read Rest is Resistance, a manifesto by Trisha Hersey. As a Black woman in America, I am forced to figure out how I can better take care of myself, because if I don't do a good enough job taking care of me, I will fail my relationship. I will fail my son. I will fail all the people I try to support and motivate, right? Like, if I can't do good for me, how could I ever do good for anyone else? It's just, that's the reality of life. So 2023 for me, at the beginning of the year, I marked it as the year of my happiness journey. I'm trying to figure out how happiness plays a role on a daily level for me, because overall, right? Like, yes, so one can say one is happy, but on a daily level, are you happy? Are you really happy? That's a loaded question. So to be a part of, like, to kind of figure out what that looks like for me has been anchored around wellness, has been anchored around food, nutrition, diet, exercise, all of those things, as well as content I consume, as well as content I produce. So I'm excited to see how this informs this journey for me. And I invite you to come here, but most importantly, I invite you to share this out with people so that we are together on a journey of just self-discovery and love and acceptance. So that's what this book is supposed to be. That was a lot, especially when you do it twice. So we have some comments. Let me show. So Ivy shared, yes, soul connections are not just romantic. True. Okay. We have white chocolate covered pineapple agreeance. We have agreeance with Hunger Games. Khalil has written, is it happily ever after? Oh, interesting. So book 1, no. Book 2, I'm coming to the end. I would say no on that too. So we'll see. We will see. There's a lot. Thank y'all for coming in here and being a part of the conversation as many times as we had to do this. So with that, again, get the book. Get the book. Get the book. Please, please, please get the book. But then also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to Dress and Roommate, the blog, the newsletter. Monthly newsletter has to come out soon, so make sure you get on that so you can get all the wisdom, all the events, all the good stuff that I put in there. So with that, now we actually can say goodbye, and you heard me. And so I'm so excited. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lots of lessons for the day. Read this book, get your life some excitement. I'll see y'all soon. I'll see you next month for my birthday month. All right, bye.